Hello, quilt people and seekers of the world. How are you? I'm doing great, and I am excited about today's topic, so let's get going, right? Finding your soul's power. Ooh, that feels really big, all right? And it's amazing to me that once you start to get to like this level of the work, how like things just begin to appear for you. Things just start to align for you. Because it's in this space, in the space of power, in the space of knowing who you are, what you're owning, where you're going, and the clarity found in that, right? That things start to be affected and your environment starts to be affected by you. The difference in this place in the work is that you begin to affect the outcome, right? You begin to change the world and the environment around you rather than being affected by it. You're pressing your will, right? And where you're going into the environment. Totally different. A lot of people never really get to that place of personal power where they are really changing the future, where they are understanding what they have the ability to do in the matrix. Your future is determined by your now. But the most mind-blowing part of where I am right now is that your past is also not a fixed point and is also determined by you in the now. Because that's where it all happens. All of this can only happen in one place, in the now. And it's all rooted in I am. Anytime you're languaging something that's not rooted in I am, you're wasting your time. It's that simple. If you are not in the present moment, harnessing the power of the present moment, you're just going to be scattered, right? You're going to be unclear. You're not going to be laser focused and moving quickly towards your hopes and dreams because you're not really manifesting. And you're like throwing all this confusing information into your environment. It's something we've been talking about from the beginning. Being clear on what's in here. Because we confuse the universe with messaging that says, oh, I want this, but then your words are out of alignment with that thing, with where you're going. It's the lack of clarity that muddies the water. I am is the most powerful expression of you. Because it's in there that you're focusing on all the right things, right? Like I, me, which is the only thing you can affect any kind of change over. I am current, present to the moment, participating in the alignment, right? Participating in you harnessing the power of the universe. I am. You are what? Name it. Name it and claim it. Say what you are. I am one of the best writers on the planet, and my books will be turned into, no, see, I did it again. I said my books will be. Will be. Wrong. There's no will be. There's no future. There's only the now. And to language anything outside of the now is to lack power. Your power is rooted in I am. I am making films that will elevate the consciousness of man. I am one of the best writers on the planet. I am somebody that they need to take serious because I am coming through. I have found where I am and how to harness I am, and buckle up. It's go time. It is go time. And my message will be heard. My message will be well received. See, I'm doing it again. My message is well received. My message is making a difference. My message is changing the lives of queer youth who need to be protected. They need to be protected from institutionalized homophobia that just runs rampant throughout our society. And everyone's like, oh, yay, institutionalized bigotry. We can't function in that place anymore. I am the change that will take faith communities either to an evolution of self or to be removed from all public spaces. Those are the only two things I will accept moving forward, right? I do not accept that you can belong to, have your hands on literature that says gay people shouldn't exist, and then call yourself an ally of our community. Nope, 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 I do not accept that. I am not a person who tolerates that. I am not a person who tolerates the duplicitous nature of saying that you're for the gay community while belonging to and funding that which says we shouldn't exist. That no longer works. I am the change. I am somebody that people need to take seriously. No more. From the onset, I have been here fighting for the mental health of future generations of queer kids. Nobody sees them. Nobody sees them. I see them. I am a person who sees the damage that is created by faith communities when they exalt and celebrate literature that says queer expression is an abomination. No. You wouldn't ask that of your Jewish friends. You wouldn't ask that of your black friends. You're certainly not going to ask that of your gay friends. The time is now, and faith communities will clean themselves up or be removed from all public spaces. That is the only thing we can accept moving forward, and I want to be really clear about that, okay? If you wouldn't ask your Jewish friends to tolerate it, if you wouldn't ask your black friends to tolerate it, you're not asking your gay friends to tolerate it. That time is done. So learning to language yourself and be seated in the power of I am, it works like this. Let's say you had amnesia. And you woke up, you didn't know who you were, you had no idea of your past story, right? That was informing you of who you are and where you're going. Like no association to that at all, right? And then someone comes along and tells you who you are, and you're like, oh, and they show you all these receipts, right? This is who you are, this is what you did, whatever. And it could be as crazy as you can make up. That you're a snake charmer from India, that you have 7 wives, and that you have this whatever. If you believe that, your world, the entire universe, right, would begin to form itself into that truth of you, right? Into that truth of who you are and where you're going, right? Because why? That's what you're projecting into the universe. That's who you are. And so the universe is aligning itself to live with your truth. Not live with its truth. Live with your truth. Does that make sense? That the world would start to align itself to be in conjunction with your truth of a snake charmer from India with 7 wives, right? Because that's how it works. That's how it works. But it's all found, all the power is found in languaging I am. I am a person who tolerates this, or I am a person who does not tolerate this. Right? Learn to use that to find your power. I find this work so incredibly clarifying and bolstering of like our personal mission when applied to us in that manner. Harness your anger. Why is it there? What are your personal boundaries that it's pushing up against in order to create anger within your container? Look at that. Because sometimes the most loving thing is not being the quiet person in the room. Sometimes being the most loving that you can be in the personal expression and evolution of you is to, get loud, get big. If you are rooted in, I am a person who tolerates this behavior, or I am not a person who tolerates this behavior, I am. I am the change. I am coming through. And I am one of the best writers on the planet. My books are already making and changing lives. My books already are being picked up and turned into movies. My books already are. My books are the change. Because I don't pull any punches. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm all out of nice on the subject in asking faith communities to see my humanity. I'm not asking anymore. I'm not a person who tolerates that. I am not a person who tolerates that. And anyone trying to carve out a little gray area in the bigotry will be called out because I am not a person who tolerates that. In finding I am, you have to abandon one thing above all else, and that's time. You have to abandon your concept of time. There is no time. There is no future. There is no past. There only is the now, right? The place where you can harness the power of the universe. The I am gets your physical body into a space where your mind can meet God. So how we do this work moving forward, and then again, I'm still, man, every week I'm confronted with truths that challenge what I have previously known in my entire life. Oh, that, right? But I'm working with someone right now who continues to blow my mind. There are people on this planet who are so far much further along than like us. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I'm currently working with this man by the name of Frank Paris. If you want to look him up, it's Frank Paris Healer in Palm Springs. You'll find him. And he is challenging everything that I have held as true before. But he's also able to back it up. He's also able to regularly show me how he is manipulating the matrix, not being affected by the matrix. He himself is walking through the world, and the world is responding to him and his energy because he is so deeply rooted in I am. I am Christ consciousness on earth. I am, on my own say-so, divinely protected and divinely guided. I am those things. So last time I met with Frank, and he looks at you in a way where he is pulling apart your mind right in front of you. And he's just asking you questions of things that he's pulling out of you that are false illusions and false gods. Anything outside of yourself that you give power to is a false god. There can only be one God, and that's you. That's you as Christ consciousness, right? As a part of that which is spirit on earth. Can you claim that? Can you stand in your own personal holiness and hold that? I'm learning to. And I am seeing how that my will guides everything that I'm doing and the entire environment around me. The matrix is affected by me and my will, not the other way around. It takes so much solidity of self. It takes so much abandoning yourself, your thoughts, what you think you know, abandoning time, abandoning others. You're the only one who you can take on this journey. You're the only one that you can affect change with. Stand in that. Know the truth of that, right? Connect. Know the solidity of yourself, right? Know it in here, and know that as you walk through the world, that you are pressing your will into the future-most point of the present moment, right? It's like a piece of saran wrap. When you stick your finger into it, it kind of bends, right? There was a sheet of saran wrap, and you stick your finger into it, and it kind of bends, right? That's your will. Your will that you're pressing into the furthest most future moment of the present moment, right? Right? My will is what leads, and all the rest, all the reasoning, all the understanding, all the things that make sense, all the things that feel right, all the emotions come second. Lead with your will. Get grounded in I am and push into that which you seek to change. I will there be light. I will there be change. I will that there be 1 million copies of my book sold immediately. I am a great writer. I know that. Everyone who picks up my books is, well, first of all, they're kind of surprised. They're all like, oh, you wrote this? Oh my God, why are you also so surprised? Right? Because if I know anything, I know story. I know theater. I have studied this my whole life. I know art. I know art. And whether I'm applying it to a work in fabric, or whether I'm applying it to the 20 plus years of stage performance that I did as a ballet dancer and on Broadway and as a backup dancer for Celine Dion, I know art. Not by the way that it looks, but by the way it feels. When you experience good art, ooh, right? You can, there's an energy exchange there, right? And it's the same thing with my books. I know story, I know show. Being in the theater for most of my life, I understand these things, and I apply all of these things to my books. Now, are they the greatest thing ever written? No, I'm not formally educated in that way. But in terms of pulp fiction, right, my work stands alone. I stand by it. And people who read it are generally blown away because I'm not just telling a story. I'm creating an experience. And not just an experience of the senses, but an experience of the soul. I know what that feels like, and I know when I see it on the page. That's why nobody can edit my work other than me. Because I'm not looking at the words, I'm feeling the words. I'm experiencing them as an energy signature, and whether those letters that are forming that energy signature are congruent with the messaging that I'm trying to send, the message of change, because it all starts there. I am not a person who tolerates institutionalized homophobia. That will never be okay with me on any level. I am a person who is concerned about the future generations of queer youth who are being told they are an abomination for merely existing. No more. I'm not a person who tolerates that. No more. I know where I am going because I know where I am. I am the change. I am the one to stand up and say, no more. No more gray area. No more gray area in the hate. No, 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 no. 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 That's where we are today. Hopefully that was helpful. I will see you next time. Bye.